Hi everyone, it's Alex with Wide Awake Travels again. Today's project is going to be the elevating the floor in the bathroom. Now, why do I want to elevate the floor in the bathroom? Well, because then I can run all the plumbing under that fake floor above this subfloor. And I don't need to run all the plumbing under the bus, around the frame, taking away spaces where I can have storage boxes and stuff like that. It's going to make it a lot simpler, keeping all that plumbing inside. Also protects it from, maybe freezing. The drain here is going to go from the shower and the drain from the sink in the bathroom. They're going to be all inside, as well as the water lines. A lot of people put the water lines in the walls, where I'm going to just put the water lines under that elevated floor, and that's going to give me access to them if I ever need to do something, fix something. If there's a leak, I'm going to put access panels on the floor so I can open that up and access them. And it's going to be just a simple line of drain plumbing going down and linking all the kitchen sink, the bathroom sink, and the shower. That's all gonna go in one straight line, and then under the sink it's just gonna be a hole straight down into the gray tank. And also, I guess the toilet, the urine diverter, that's gonna plumb into that line and go into the gray tank or black tank, if you want to call it a black tank, since it has urine. And some people or some municipalities consider urine to be black water as well. So whatever it is, I'm going to be dumping it as it is black, as if it were a black water. I'm going to treat it that way. And I'm not going to just dump it in the ground and stuff like that. But anyway, that's a separate conversation. I'm going to use 2x6s, which is 5.5 inches. And then on top of it's going to have 1/2 inch thick plywood. So the total height of the raised floor will be 6 inches. And that's going to also allow me to put some drawers right here. I think I can put a few drawers right there and right there, because we're going to be stepping up into the bathroom, 6 inches over here. So I'll have room for drawers there. They're not going to go all the way to the wall because the plumbing needs to go there, but they can come up to here somewhere, for example. So that's pretty good drawers for storage there. And the toilet is going to sit on top, of course, on this side. So I think that's a great thing to do. Avoids all the troubles, like I mentioned, going under the bus and running the drain under the bus and around the framing, around the wheel well, because my wheels are over here somewhere. So I would have to go around them to get to the gray tank. It would just be so much more complex doing it that way. And because we did a roof raise, we can afford to raise the floor in the bathroom. Even with 6 inches, we're still going to have enough height for the shower head and everything. Because I got the shower pan custom made, it's a stainless steel shower pan, and I got it made so it's sloped. So it's 36 inches long and 24 inches wide. And on the longer side, it gets smaller. It gets angled. It drops basically 1/4 inch every foot. So the back side here is gonna be 4 inches tall, but the side up on this side, the front, is gonna be 3.25 inches. That means that I have to make the new floor angled as well, and it needs to drop 1/4 inch every foot. So if I'm starting out over here at 5.5 inches, because that is the height of this of 2x6, the end needs to be 3/4 inches smaller, so that will be 4.75 inches. So this piece of 2x6 actually needs to be 4.75 inches on this side. This one and the one that sits on the left. Now I have to take into account the Curdy board, Schluter Curdy board that I'm gonna add, the waterproofing board. That's 1/2 inch thick. So my 2x6 needs to be 36.5 inch long. So if this one starts at 5.5 inches tall, 2x6, I have to take away the 1/2 inch from the end to make sure that is 3 feet, 36 inches. So that means that at the 36 inch mark, the height of this needs to be, as I said, 4 3/4, because that's 3 feet and you take away an inch, so that's 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, 4 3/4. So I need to cut. Okay, so the overall length, it needs to be 36 inches and a half. Okay, 36.5. So I'm gonna cut that off first. There we go. And now I'm gonna do 36 inches. My speed square. Okay, so I know that this side needs to be cut off to be, it needs to be 4 3/4 on that line. 4 3/4 right there. So I got my straight edge over here, and I'm gonna mark it and cut it. Okay, there we go. There we go. So this side 4 3/4, this one 5.5, and I have to do 2 of these. Now I'm measuring the distance from the blade to the edge of the saw. So that's 1 inch and, what is that, 1 3/16. So I'm gonna use this straight edge and I'm gonna clamp it 1 3/16 away from the line. I'm also clamping the whole thing to these sawhorses. Okay, so I got them now, 2 of them, and the shorter side, the lower side is of course here because the drain is right here of the shower pan. I'm drilling some pocket holes now. These pocket holes are about 1 foot apart. Alright, now screwing the pocket holes. Then I can come around here and do a little angle upward. Now I got this side. I'm gonna screw this in the stud. Now I'm gonna measure distance here. That's 21 7/16. Alright. Can I get this in? I think that's good enough. Over here I'm just doing 1 pocket hole screw in the bottom, and then the rest is gonna be in the studs. So I need to add another piece in the middle. And I have to chop off the top, you know, because it's a little shorter here. Okay, that's good, it's flush. Here it is. About a foot distance between each screw in for the pocket holes. And then I did a couple of these going upwards here into the wall. Alright, I got this piece of plywood here. It's a 1/2 inch thick and 36.5 inch long, because I need to take into account the curdy board for the wall, so that's why the shower pan is 36 inches. And I have a cross piece in the middle, so once I screw that down, this should be, I mean, there's a slight flex in it, but I need a cross piece on this side. Now over here, yeah, this is gonna be good. I don't think I need 3/4 inch there, because it's just gonna add up to the height and then lower my shower, you know, shower head. It might be a little bit closer, even though it's only 1/4 inch. It's still, you know, I'm trying to minimize it. Yeah, this is gonna be enough. Now I have to cut out a hole here where the shower pan drain is. Here is the custom-made stainless steel shower pan. Found a guy on eBay that makes maple syrup boiling pans, and I asked him if he can make me a shower pan, and he did, and even added a slope to it, so it's good. He even put in this drain and he welded it on. This one is a 2 inch. Maybe I should have done 1.5 inches because my plumbing is 1.5 inches, so I have to reduce it. But he even did that, so it's like perfect, and it wasn't even expensive. It was like 280 bucks. And I think it's probably around that much to buy one of those fiberglass plastic shower pans, and this is stainless steel. We can add some wood boards, you know, in there if this is too slippery, or just for the looks. But I need to cut out the hole in the plywood to match this. So the guy told me the center of the hole is 3 inches from both sides, and I measured it, and it does look like it's 3 inches from the edge. So I'm gonna just drill a hole that way on the plywood. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna do 3 inches, and then this way 3 inches. This shower pan, the way they made it, which is a good thing, they indented it around the drain so the water can get in easier, but now that's sticking below the rest of the surface. So I either have to cut a hole that fits the drain, and then I have to get a router and in the plywood cut out like a groove so this fits, so the whole bottom sits flush and it's not, you know, raised. Or I can get a 4-inch hole saw and drill so the whole thing can fit. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna give me more wiggle room to move the shower pan over plywood and position it correctly. So yeah, 4-inch hole saw here. Alright, got the piece of plywood here. Got the shower pan. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to add the curdy board on the walls before I install the shower pan. When designing a P-trap, there are some rules that needed to be followed. The main rule that I need to be careful about is distance from here to here. So that distance, that needs to be 2 to 4 inches. Okay, so that will be the top of the water down to the top of this horizontal piece, 2 to 4 inches. And currently on my setup, it's about 1.5 inch, and maybe that could be enough, but I'm not gonna risk it. So what I need to do is I need to raise this portion of the floor a little bit, like about 1/2 inch. Probably I'm gonna raise it 1 inch, to give me that enough room to raise this up high enough, so this portion is high up to give me 2 inches. So I'm just gonna put strips of wood here, lumber, on both sides, so I raise that subfloor here, so it will be coming up to here. That's gonna solve my problem. I think there's another rule, the distance between these two, but I'm not exceeding that. I think it's longer, and I'm just gonna come up right away here, and that'll be enough. So I cut this strip, 2 of these. They are 1 inch tall and 1.5 inches wide, so I can raise this floor even further, so I can have my P-trap here to be 2 inches, you know, tall. Alright, now I'm adding this 2x6 because I need to put this one on top of it. So I did some pocket holes. I will wait to do this one because I need to put here cross pieces on the bottom, and over here and over there, so I have something to lay this one on. So I'll wait, I'll do that later, because I'm gonna have some drawers over here, so I need to have some cross pieces here for the drawers, as well as to support the subfloor. So this stud here, it's a little more than 2 feet away from that other stud, this stud right here. I have not installed it yet, but that's where it's gonna go. So I know I need to, if we're following the drop of 1/4 inch per foot, I need to do a little bit more than 1/2 inch drop from where it is here to here on this board. I need to drill a hole for that pipe, so it has a little slope. So I'm marking over here basically 1/2 inch underneath, 5/8 from the edge, and I already marked the distance from the wall to match over there. So that is where I need to, that's where the top needs to be of the pipe, right there, and then the bottom is gonna, the middle is gonna be somewhere over there. I got my hole saw over here, and I'm lining it up so the top of the hole is over that mark over there. Alright. Okay, we got it. Next one is also 2 feet from the previous one, so that one needs to go 1/2 inch lower than this one. Alright, so I put this 1.5 inch pipe through. I drilled this hole as well, and I have to drill another one over here. I put the pan back on, and I hooked all these up because I need to determine where I need to cut a hole right here. So I kind of marked the top, where the top needs to be, and then where the side needs to be of this hole, and then I'm gonna cut it that way. I can't connect it into this one yet. Maybe I can just do 1 pipe and go instead of 2 and connect them all the way back there, but I need some more length over here before I can connect it. I need some slope. This is how it looks now. This is gonna go to the sink. This continues this way. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drill another hole here, and then I'm gonna get them to meet, I think, in here. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding this guy, this piece over here, to serve as support. This is where the shower pan ends, because I wanted it I wanted it to be a to have support, because we're going to be climbing on there and stepping in that corner. Alright, now I'm doing the second one. Since I drilled all the holes there, I can install these. I installed this one as well. Alright, now what I'm doing is painting the subfloor for the shower pan, and I just chose the Valspar Ultra High Gloss Paint and Primer. Nothing fancy. This one is interior and exterior. I just want some protection from moisture. I'm gonna have waterproofing membrane on top of it, but I just wanted to put some, so I'm not gonna go crazy with it. I'm just gonna try to do this quickly. Oh. I don't want to waste too much time on this, you know. I found this little brush, foam brush. I'm going to use that to just do the edges here. Now I want to put the subfloor for the shower pan. As you can see, I've put two of the curdy boards. I'm gonna have a separate video for that. I didn't put the back one yet because I need to put the subfloor first, because I didn't cut the subfloor, didn't take into account the thickness of the curdy board for the back. So I'm gonna put the subfloor first. I can then walk over it and install the backboard. Before I put the subfloor, I need to mark where the studs are. So I'm gonna do that on the foam, on the curdy board. I'm gonna put a here little line, that's the center, and then on this side. So now the center line, I gotta make sure I don't hit the plumbing with the screws. I got my subfloor. Oh yeah. So I have this exterior wood screws. They're 1 5/8 inches long that I've had from other projects. The subfloor is 1/2 inch thick, so that's gonna give me over 1 inch into the stud, so that's plenty. So I'm just gonna mark a straight line here so I know where the stud is. There it is. Fits really well. It's sloped towards the drain. I've added this piece, so when I add the plywood here, it will have something to sit on. Now I'm adding this piece so it's all level for the subfloor. And I made it go over the pipe now because it's higher now. And now I've added this piece, this one long piece. So now the whole section here is the same level. And I can have plywood on top, and then I can have drawers here.